Hey y'all, welcome back. Today we're checking out the iconic music scene of March 1965. You just can't find today. Just can't find.
The iconic music scene of March 1965, you just can't find today. March 1965 is
Beach
filled
Boys.
with music, fashion, and live shows that bring a feeling of hope and cheerfulness. Spring emerges and the British invasion is filling the radio waves along with U.S. pop and soul singers. The variety of music that can be found in March 1965 is staggering.
Really?
The music
Just
is
that 1
driving
month?
the fashions of the day, and the iconic music scene is changing the world in ways never seen before. So much has changed that it requires some imagination to understand the shifts from modern life.
Really?
In 1965, $1 was the equivalent of $9.85 today.
When was this video made? I bet it's more than that. 7 months ago. Okay, that's pretty accurate. 1965 to 2024. Calculate. Oh, $10.01. It's gone up in the past 7 months. Of course it has. Hey. Cumulative rate of inflation, 901%. So if I invested $1,000 in some S&P 500 whatever, did they have that back then? I don't even know. I would have $900,000 now. But then I'd have to pay taxes, and I'd only have $450,000. Maybe less. What is it in, for the British pound? 1 pound in 1965, September 24. Oh, 16 pounds 45. I don't know if that's right. 1 pound in 1965 is worth 24 pounds 27 today. That doesn't seem right. Is that right? How much has it gone up since like 2019? I'm curious. $1.25. Okay, that's not that much. What was going on in March 1965? March 1965. News event-wise, you know? I want to check that. March 1965. The Sound of Music premiered on March 2nd. A NASA rocket exploded during an attempted uncrewed launch. Cost $12 million. This is very detailed. I don't think I have time. Yeah, this is too much. Too detailed. I need something more general. The Selma March happened, y'all. Oh. In America, we were deep in the civil rights. The Selma to Montgomery marches were 3 protest marches held in 1965 along the 54-mile highway from Selma, Alabama to the state capital of Montgomery. Yeah. Bloody Sunday. In February, Dr. King decided to make a conscious effort to get arrested for the benefit of publicity. February 4th, President Lyndon Johnson made his first public statement in support of the Selma campaign. Way to go, President Johnson. Oh man, this is all about civil rights stuff, which I'm glad it happened. We needed it, but it's just I don't want to dwell on like serious negative stuff. It's sad. Okay, wow. 1965 in the United Kingdom. Harold Wilson was the Prime Minister. The Labour Party. The Cray twins are arrested. Wow, January 7th. Winston Churchill is reported to be seriously ill after suffering a stroke. Winston Churchill died at age 90 on January 24th. Pivotal year. Okay, and then they had his funeral. That was a big deal. Malcolm X visited Birmingham? Wow, I didn't know Malcolm X ever went to the UK. Debut of the BBC radio comedy series Round the Home. Manchester United win the Football League First Division title. Liverpool win the FA Cup for the first time in their history, beating Leeds United 2-1 at Wembley Stadium. Asda is formed and opens its first supermarket in Yorkshire. The first UK branch of KFC fast food restaurant chain opened in Lancashire. Really? Paul McCartney of the Beatles records the song Yesterday on June 14th. Wow. So March 65 didn't even know about yesterday. It's amazing. Maybe Paul was singing about March 1965 when he was singing yesterday. Simpler times. Pizza Express opens its first restaurant in London. Wow, in August of 65, the Rolling Stones released I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Wow, this is pre-satisfaction we're talking about. Yeah, y'all. Things were about to change. I mean, The civil rights movement, all this music going on in England. Crazy.
$1 was the equivalent of $9.85 today. $1 will buy you 4 boxes of Cheerios, 4 loaves of bread, a carload of people at the local drive-in, a bath towel, and a Slinky. You might be reading the best-selling book, The Source, by James A. Michener, while snacking on chips with Lipton onion dip, which was created in 1965 after the advent of packaged soup mixes.
Y'all, I've had that dip a lot. Some Ruffles? $1 will buy you 4 boxes of Cheerios, 4 loaves of bread, a carload of people at the local drive-in, a bath towel, and a Slinky, all for $1. $1. That doesn't make sense, because if $1 then is worth $9.85 now, or $10 now, you can't get that stuff for $10? How much is it? This is depressing. Box of Cheerios. $3.68. Oh, $5.79. $7.95 for a box of Cheerios. Oy, 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 oy. How much is, Wonder Bread? Okay. I could get one for $4.49. How much are Slinkies going for these days? $10? Oh, okay. $3.59 at Target. All right. Oh, on Amazon you can get 3 of them for $11. 1 of them for $3.59. That's too much, y'all. It's just metal. It's just wound up metal. This is making me sad. Inflation is out of control. That's why the election went the way it did. I'm getting sad. Okay, please. March 1965 is a joyous time.
Owl and a Slinky. You might be reading the best-selling book, The Source, by James A. Michener.
Okay, what is The Source about? That sounds like a cult. The Source. What's it about? The Source is a historical novel by James A. Michener, published in 1965. It is a survey of the history of the Jewish people and the land of Israel from pre-monotheistic days through the birth of the modern state of Israel and up until 1964. That sounds like a heavy read.
You might be reading the best-selling book, The Source, by James A. Michener, while snacking on chips with Lipton onion dip, which was created in 1965 after the advent of packaged soup mixes. If you head to the local record store, you will thumb through the latest albums, listen to them in the headphones or in the sound room before buying. And what might you be listening to on your record player at home? There is still a strong showing for the British invasion hits we learned about from last month, but some new additions start getting a lot of radio play, including the Beach Boys, who have a hit that is climbing the charts, Do You Want to Dance?, featuring their iconic harmonies and chorus. Freddie and the Dreamers from Manchester enter the charts at night.
Y'all, I'm going to take another detour. I just want to... Have you ever seen Beach Boys without auto-tune?
I'm driving up and down the Seymour Street. I gotta find you, baby, yelling in the hill. Me, I'm getting real well known. Yeah, the bad guy, know that I'm alone. From downtown, here I get my head. You know I'm getting
Okay. Oh, wait.
I can't cause it never beat. I never miss yet with the girls we meet.
Oh, it's so brilliant. I love it so much. I watch it like every few months just to laugh. Okay. Wait. March 65. Let's, what Beatles albums were out? Beatles for Sale, which was released December 64. Okay. So Beatles for Sale would have been the latest Beatles album out. So I Feel Fine, I'm a Loser, No Reply, 8 Days a Week, Rock and roll music. Okay. Yeah.
Freddie and the Dreamers from Manchester enter the charts at number 10 with I'm Telling You Now. The song will continue to climb the charts in the following weeks.
I'm telling you right away.
Roger Miller's King of the Road vocals are unmistakable, and his lyrics showcase cool Americana. He is dominating the charts in March 1965. On March 2nd, one of the most popular musical films of all time, The Sound of Music, starring Julie Andrews and Christopher Plummer, premiered. That same week on March 6th, The Temptations have a number 1 hit with My Girl.
Oh, wow.
The following week, on March 13th, the Beatles are still a phenomenon that swept the world and have a hit with 8 Days a Week. The single goes number 1 and stays there for 2 weeks.
Way to go, boys.
That same day,
So, in another video, I learned that the Beatles don't like that song. They didn't like it. I love 8 Days a Week. I love it.
that same day, Eric Clapton quits the Yardbirds due to the band moving away from traditional blues.
Oh.
Jeff Beck soon becomes his replacement. Bob Dylan releases his album Bringing It All Back Home, which features his iconic Mr. Tambourine Man and Subterranean Homesick Blues.
Wow, y'all. This is a pivotal month. The Beatles are having hits. Eric Clapton leaves the Yardbirds. Bob Dylan puts this out. Subterranean Homesick Blues, y'all.
The album represents a shift from Dylan's previous acoustic-only folk albums.
Yeah.
Now he is mixing in electric guitars.
That's
The change is
huge.
also seen in Dylan's attire, looking as though he stepped off Savile Row, not McDougal Street in Greenwich Village. The change will soon create a controversy in the folk community that follows him for years to come.
Yeah, I think he filmed that video behind the Savoy Hotel in London. Is that right? Is that what happened? There it is, I think. Right? Yeah. It was behind the Savoy Hotel. Y'all, that Bob Dylan playing electric guitars was a huge folk. The folk people got so upset. So upset. Their folk hero went electric. Pulled the rug out from under all the hippies. Or that weren't hippies, they were beatniks. Is that folk? I don't know, sorta. You know, folk people.
On March 23rd, Gemini 3 launched the first U.S. two-man spaceflight. The Supremes had 5 number 1 pop hits in a row, including Stop in the Name of Love. Another band from Manchester were Herman's Hermits.
Right. The Supremes had 5 number 1 hits in a row? Wow. The Supremes, 1965. More Hits by the Supremes is the 6th studio album by Motown singing group The Supremes, released in 1965. The album includes 2 number 1 hits, Stop in the Name of Love and Back in My Arms Again, as well as the top 20 single, Nothing But Heartaches. Okay, so they must have had some number 1s from a previous album. Okay. And Herman's Hermits are getting on there, y'all. Herman's
Love.
Hermits.
Another band from Manchester were Herman's Hermits. In just over a year, the British Invasion Group had no less than 9 top 10 U.S. hits, including 2 number 1s. At number 3 in March 1965 is Can't You Hear My Heartbeat?
Looking my way, baby, baby, can't you hear my heartbeat?
I've never heard that song before. Herman's Hermits? 9 top 10 hits? Really? All right, I gotta check them out on the Apple from Manchester. What are their top songs? I'm Into Something Good. I've heard of that. There's a Kind of Hush. I haven't heard that. Let's listen. No. Next, Mrs. Brown. You've got a lovely daughter. Okay. No, thank you. Next, Can You Hear My Heartbeat? Never heard of that. The End of the World. I'm Henry VIII. I Am. What? Oh, wow. I didn't know they recorded that song. Okay, Herman's Hermits. I have to say, the recordings sound really good. The Songwriter, it's a little too happy for me.
Over a year, the British Invasion Group had no less than 9 top 10 U.S. hits, including 2 number ones. At number 3 in March 1965 is Can't You Hear My Heartbeat?
Looking my way, baby, baby, can't you hear my heartbeat?
Was there a better James Bond than Sean Connery? Shirley Bassey absolutely killed it
Ooh.
on the movie's theme song, Goldfinger, which is climbing the US and UK charts in March 1965.
Oh.
He's the man with the Midas touch.
The Man with the Golden Gun.
Y'all, did you know that Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin played guitar on that? He was sitting just a few feet from the singer as she sang it. They all recorded together. Jimmy Page is playing guitar on that. Amazing.
By Ian Fleming is also one of the top-selling books of the year. In March 1965, the first TGI Fridays restaurant opened in New York.
What?
In 1965,
Wait, what?
Applejack's.
I'm sorry, what? TGI Fridays is that old? In 1965, Alan Stillman opened the first TGI Fridays restaurant in Manhattan. He lived on 63rd Street between 1st and York Avenues in a neighborhood with many airline stewardesses. He hoped that opening a bar would help him meet women. The first day I was ever in New York City, I got stranded because I parked my car in New Jersey and I took the train over, and because of some mix-ups, my bank account got deleted. One of my new roommates didn't recognize my name in a piece of mail, and he called the bank and said there's no one by that name that lives here. I was just moving in. It was like a couple days before I moved in, and they canceled my account. I had no money, so I couldn't pay to get on the train. I couldn't get any cash. I couldn't pay to get my car out of the parking lot. I was stuck, and I sat at a TGI Fridays in New York, in Manhattan, for like 4 hours using the payphone. Remember payphones? Using the payphone because I borrowed some quarters from the waitress. It's a very nice woman. TGI Fridays saved me. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic. 1965. In 1965, y'all, Applejack's, Bounty paper towels, Gatorade, Honeycomb, and SpaghettiOs all appeared.
Bounty paper towels, In 1965, Applejack's, Bounty paper towels, Gatorade, Honeycomb, and SpaghettiOs all appeared in the marketplace for the first time.
Y'all, this is a wind change of American cuisine. Applejack's, Bounty paper towels, delicious, Gatorade, Honeycomb, and SpaghettiOs. The staples of an American diet.
Honeycomb and SpaghettiOs all appeared in the marketplace for the first time. Other hits on the charts are People Get Ready by The Impressions.
As a train a-comin', you don't need no baggage, you just...
And Do the Clam by Elvis Presley. At the Marquee Club in London,
Do
you
the
can catch
Clam?
shows by...
I'm sorry. Do the Clam? Elvis. Is clam a euphemism for a vagina? Do the Clam. Let's hear it. Okay. Y'all, he could still sing, but the song choice is crap.
At the Marquee Club in London, you can catch shows by the Spencer Davis Group, The Who, the Yardbirds, and the Moody Blues for £5.
Wow. If we had a time machine and you could go back in time and buy a ticket for this, I think people would pay $5,000 for this ticket, 1,000 times more. Maybe more. You know? Boomers got that money.
In the book The Lost Art of Dress, the 1965 fashion scene is described. Boutiques were groovy places where modern music played and young owners and customers collaborated on new looks that came only in small sizes. So are there any songs on the charts today that you think can stand the test of time, like the iconic music of 1965? What changed and why are we so far off course from the music, fashion, and social scene of March 1965? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video, and be sure to check out the iconic music from January and February 1965 as well.
That's the end of the video? This page is from a magazine. Okay. What would have been a similar time? 1965. Gosh, I don't know. Maybe 1968 or 69? Woodstock? I don't know. Maybe the 80s. Maybe the early 80s, new wave. Not really, though. The early 90s? I mean, hip hop in the 80s. Late 70s, 80s. I don't know. It was different, though. I feel like the difference between, let's say, 1962 till 1968 is a huge difference. You know, with 65 right in the middle of that? Huge difference. I can't think of a time where there was that much difference. I don't know. Not in my lifetime, anyway. Wild. You know, it's interesting to think of my idea of the 60s is actually like maybe 66 through 69. Just the late 60s. The early 60s, from my ignorant perspective, is still very 50s. Black and white. Yo, inflation sucks. It's the one thing I don't like watching about these historical videos. It's the price of stuff. It makes me so frustrated. Y'all be sure to go to Freewheeling and like and subscribe. And if you made it this far in the video, give me a like and subscribe too. I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee people. Thank y'all for watching this with me. And I'll see y'all next time. Later.